Welcome, everyone, to Night City Stargazers, episode 16. Where we had left off, our group of edge runners, our crew, had finished up the job that they had been assigned by the Arasaka Solo Diehard, otherwise known as Ebenezer Costanza. Their job had been to secure information on a certain executive of a subsidiary of Biotechnica, find out his movements, find out his routines, find out his armaments, his bodyguards, the lot of it, and deliver that information to Die Hard himself. After delivering the information and verifying it with their own eyes and collecting themselves a €4,000 payment, splitting it between the lot of them, they are now had gotten themselves a little bit more cash with some side jobs, but are otherwise looking for other gigs. And so that's where we will be meeting up with our crew as it stands. But during this week of odd jobs, there's also conversations being had by individuals. One such conversation takes place between Trix and Slideye. Trix, why don't you give us a little bit of a rundown as to what it is that Slideye had asked you, and what came about as part of that?
Slideye had asked Trix to look up Slideye's real name, her former name, Francesca Abernathy. Find out a little bit of history of why she is the way she is today. What she found out was not too long ago, Francesca went over the line. Something about all the work she'd had done, the fashion wear, other augmentations, everything. Just made her snap. Cyberpsychosis is a hell of a thing. Ended up killing a few people, putting a few others in the hospital. To this day, Slideye still struggles with it. Now Trix has a little bit more of an understanding. She's on her way over to talk to Trix. Wow, I can't English today. Talk to Slideye about some of that. About what potentially needs done to move forward from here. Make sure she doesn't go back over that line.
Slideye, you get a knock at your apartment door.
I end up opening it after taking a look through the peepholes and seeing who it is and confirming that it's Trix. Well, why don't you come on in?
And she was.
Sorry. Don't have a lot in the fridge to end up offering, but I can get you a water if you need it.
Nah, that's fine. You've really come a long way since the last couple of years, haven't you?
Well, I'm glad that you're quick to do your homework. Guess that's why you're on the crew.
make it quick. Quick as possible, at least.
Come a long way. That's an interesting way to put it. No. No, I have not.
What makes you say that?
There is no proven method to fix people like me. I'm not even sure on how it happened so far.
From what I could tell from all the rumors, you're not switching everything out as much as you used to be.
Cute hypothetical.
Expressing that urge a little bit better.
Just being mindful. With that,
Good.
that's what we're... Well, you've been here since the start, just like Loup. But I don't think Loup takes it near as seriously. But then again, Loup's got focus on other things. And our newest acquired Ripper Doc, well, I'm sure he can suss out a few things.
You did say Orvin left him a note about you specifically.
I'm gonna end up presuming that Orvin also left him the diagnosis.
That or he's smart enough to figure it out.
I hope he's smart enough to figure it out. Can't afford stupidity on a run. Right now, I'd rather know your thoughts.
It's a frightening line. Admit. Bit skeptical you can hold it together.
Good. That's healthy.
From what I have seen, you've still been doing a damn good job at doing so, Francesca. You say you want to keep us safe. Alright, fine. Let's return the favor then. Let's get you some help to keep that in line. Therapy, whatever the fuck it takes.
Upkeep is the biggest cost. A lot of solos who start to end up getting into mods end up needing to end up spending more on the upkeep. Kind of an irony. You go into debt, you pick up some stuff just to end up having to pay it off more and more. Starts to wear you down. And you start realizing that all you need is a box to keep the rain off. Anything to eat doesn't really matter. Could be just a rat behind a dumpster or some thrown out tofu. Soy noodles or something like that. Doesn't matter, you don't register it as food anymore, you register it as fuel. And that's enough. So long as you keep the upgrades going. Most then can't afford the therapies. Most don't even know on how to end up doing it. Hell, near as I can tell, for all the stuff you've got chipped in and everybody else got chipped in, very, very few are spending time actually considering what the other part of that is. They just get really, really excited on their new mod.
Yeah, that may be true. But
I don't have that luxury.
which is why I'm offering you help.
What can a nomad help me with right now?
It's not just me. As a group, we can help you get into that therapy. We can help you keep this place, have a better roof over your head, because I'm pretty sure, sleeping in the streets doesn't really help much.
No, it doesn't. But it doesn't answer the question as to why. Don't tell me you're doing it out of the good of your heart.
Well, I was going to say you're one of us. But maybe it's a little bit selfish. You're our solo. Without you, we're in a hell of a lot of trouble.
Fine. I'm not here to argue. That's the relationship you want to make, then that's the relationship we'll make. But I thought you should know. More importantly, you should know because Die Hard knows.
I'm aware he knows.
And if he knows, Arasaka knows. And that can build into an embarrassing relationship for them.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I miss their tech. Militech does things, makes it feel more brutish. It's more, how do I explain it? Power projection. Some of the best guerrilla arms in the business, absolutely. Built to look big, intimidating, mean. Metal exposed in all the right parts to let you know you're willing to throw your weight around. Arasaka always had more elegance to it.
More refined.
Easier to hide. It's like getting gold-plated synth skin, There's just something that makes you feel good to know that you're literally good as gold. Hell, it's why they end up having their employees in Arasaka Tower gold chrome-plated. No, that's sexier than a tight ass than one you can see your reflection in.
Figured they would have gone platinum for that one.
Traditionalist. Platinum has always ended up being that vision of the future. Arasaka, for all of its faults, likes to end up pretending to end up having some degree of tradition. Gold in Japanese culture actually has some weight to it as opposed to platinum. Platinum is what you end up getting for streetwise, dubstep, albums. That's where it really matters. Or when you're here thinking about major releases or grading systems. But gold's got a feel of a combination of refinement and tradition. And if you know anything about the Japanese, very traditional people.
Yeah, you can tell that just by walking around Japantown.
Yeah. Which is how we managed to end up pissing off the old lady.
Yeah. Hopefully there's not too much damage done there.
Maybe, maybe not. I'm hoping that we'll make it up to her in time. Mostly because I live near the tigers, and that's going to end up being an issue for me later on if I don't keep that settled or keep my nose clean.
Yeah, I could see where that would.
And I think you'll agree, undue stress is not going to end up helping us out much.
No, it's not. I suggest also talking to Rek. Let him know. Full reason behind Orvin wanting those meds made. Then let us know what you need, and we'll help you out as much as we can. I want to be able to trust you, Slideye. I do.
Don't.
Do and wanting are two different things.
Smarter. Glad to see that's why you're a net runner. Be smart about it. Don't give in to sentimentality. Sentimentality means you're not going to draw that pistol and end up putting it to my head when it matters. And, well, as much as I'd like to not think about the idea, it's like cancer. Not thinking about it doesn't help the matter. It just makes you wonder why you're pissing blood first thing in the morning.
You don't have to worry about that. You cross that line, it'll be me that pulled the trigger. Not Rec, not Lou. I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Good. Figure it's good to be honest where we stand with each other. Rec's gonna try and end up getting involved in it. He's gonna want some tech and be compensated for his skill set. He's gonna be responsible for a lot of the upgrades I'm going through.
Well, at least it's not fingers.
Fingers might have been a perv. Like to end up putting his hands where they didn't belong, but give this to him. Knows his tech and keeps his mouth shut. Not a lot of people like to squawk around Jig Street, and his line of work means that most people don't look at him if you're going to combat mods. His reputation protects him for that, because everybody else just knows him as a guy who ends up making a fair amount of tits and ass. Well, they end up asking him about the kind of shit that he's really good with. It's about perception. It's Night City. Perception's important.
Yeah. If I can make one more suggestion, have Rec move in with you. Same deal as, I assume you had with Orvin in that case.
Yeah. So that's what you want, a trade-off. You help me out, and I end up opening my door to him. You want me to fuck him too?
That's on you, not on me.
I'm just
Take it as
wondering.
my way of keeping an eye on you.
Sure.
Besides his help, you can keep the roof over your head.
Got it. So I guess right now the only thing left is to see what Loup pulls up for work.
Exactly.
Sure, you don't want water?
Oh, I'm pretty sure. And she'll send Lou a message asking if she's found any work.
Coffee?
Mm-hmm.
What have I found?
Not the same job, but something similar in that the Latinos are looking for some backup in regards to a job that they're doing. Not necessarily you getting your hands dirty on something that that they're cooking up, but lookout, bodyguard, keep prying eyes from prying, that sort of thing, while they get up to
Okay.
whatever shenanigans they're getting up to.
Yeah. So I message back. Uh, Bodywork Tino's.
Well, looks like she's found something with the Valentinos. Bodyguard or something.
Second message. Food for the hungry.
Well, what do you think? Go for it or not? Asking Slideye.
I say we do it. Makes everything a lot cleaner. Besides, what good's being a solo if you're just sitting on the couch all day?
She'll send back to Loup, we're in. And then send a message to Rex saying that we got a job.
Requiem. Your response.
I'll just say I'm in. Just need to make one stop before. And since it's a group chat, he'll just ask Slideye if it's okay if he stops by.
Slideye, is it okay if he stops by?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'd head over. All my gear's in the trunk. I'll walk up to the door and knock.
After checking the door, she'll end up opening. Yeah. I'm starting to wonder if this place is booked. Come on in. Do you need a water?
Oh, no thank you, not right now. I will take a little bit for him, though. And you'll see Dream pop out from underneath the collar of his jacket.
The fuck is that thing?
You don't remember him?
No, of course I remember him. I'm just... He walks over to the... He walks over to the sink and pulls out a bowl. Starts to end up pouring the water, doing a count, trying to end up reminding her how much each second ends up costing as far as eddies go. Rims it off as much as she can
It's pretty good water.
before putting it down. It's only partially brackish.
And this is my partner, Dream.
Who really is just kind of skittering around your neck a little bit, kind of tucked into your collar just a little bit.
Reaching up, scratching him, and probably he gets on my hand and starts playing out and nibbling on my fingers. Since they're new and metal. I have a favor to ask.
I'm listening.
My place got condemned. Can Requiem stay here? They don't do well with big changes in climate and sleeping in the car.
You mean Dream?
Yeah, sorry, Dream. It gets too cold in the car for him.
Yeah, when the evenings are about 45. It's mid-spring.
All
He
right.
has a he has a little house that can go in a corner somewhere.
And what about you?
I'll figure something out. I just need to make money and get a new place.
Yeah, so that's what she was talking about. Orvin's room's right there. Couch is right there. We almost have full 4 rooms here. Almost. Not anything you can put a surgical bay in, but 4 walls and a cot. And this
You
way I
sure?
don't have... Just think of it as, yeah, I don't like animals, so don't ask me to take care of them. If you want them to be in here, you might as well do it yourself.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. I'm just following the play. Besides, the whole reason we took this place was that the rent would be split. Makes it easier. So, if you're taking on Orvin's duties for making up that cocktail, you might as well take his room too. But you're also taking his section of the rent.
Of course.
Good. I don't like haggling. Leave that shit for Loup.
It's easier when you just do what you're good at.
Besides, car's not all that secure. At least around here, you can be confident that if you're getting broken into, you at least know who did it.
True. It wouldn't be the first time I've had to sleep on the streets, but it's definitely not ideal. Could have always tried to crash at the clinic, but that chair is not made to sleep in. Well, let me move his tree in, and I guess we have work tonight.
Supposedly. We'll end up finding out in the full details afterwards. Anyway.
Thanks again. And he's going to get up and go down to the car and get all the stuff that Dream needs and set him up in Orvin's room.
Well, when she says room, it's kind of a section of the studio apartment. It's not really walled off. It's not really curtained off either. It's kind of just a bed in the corner. And, of course, Slideye, when you see him start bringing things in, you see that he's bringing in not only a tree, but an enclosure for it, so that Dream can have a place to sleep. Some food bags, some of his own belongings. Just kind of starts bringing all of this up from his car. You imagine that they're were pretty well stuffed in there. The tree itself looks like it's at least 4 feet tall.
Ugh. Wow.
That thing has to
That
be
at least.
cost so many eddies of water to be able to furnish, because it looks a little exotic. It looks a little less like a desert plant too, which is what's native to the Night City area. Looks like something out of city center.
Not my job to ask. Although I'm very tempted to end up figuring out who he boosted it from. After we end up getting him settled, get ready to head out. Got to reconnoiter with the Loup.
Okay.
Good to get back to work. That, and if she spends any more time with Rex, she's gonna have wandering eyes, and then it's gonna get all manners of awkward.
I was probably very awkward when he went to put on his body armor, stripping down to like no shirt and putting his vest on underneath.
Oh man. You hate to see him go, but you love to watch him leave.
You said it.
Wandering eyes to that lovely round ass. But, getting to Lou. Lou, you have been a little bit busy this week, as some things have been taking a toll on you for sure. But in spending some time with Sam, with Jessica, with a therapist, you feel like things are starting to get back to normal. Especially after having nearly died. That can really ruin a person's psyche.
Yeah, Lou sends off that message. And then, I was gonna say tucks her phone away, but that's not how it works. Sort of like dismisses the field in her vision.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor's sitting across from her, and she says, so yeah, what were we saying?
Well, I was saying, what about this time next week?
I don't know. Is it buy one get one free, Doc?
No. You don't have medical coverage, so it would be upfront costs.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. I'll tell you what, we'll see how this next job goes, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for helping sort things out.
Remember, watch the meditation videos and follow your prescribed medication regimen, and you should be fine.
Yeah, sure thing.
And in your hand is a chip for watching a brain dance. A brain dance that you imagine is meditation techniques.
She reaches out and takes it and slips it in her pocket. Thanks. Yeah, these have been really great.
Well, I do have other clients, so I shall see you when I see you next. Just be sure to book an
okay.
appointment, as it may take a week or two before I could see you again.
Sure. Okay, well, yeah, bye. All right, I'm going to roll my 2d6 now.
Okay. Ooh, nice solid 5.
Cool. Wait, didn't I roll this already?
I think you did, because we did it
I
last
rolled
time.
this last session.
Yeah.
Oh my god, which means I already paid for it.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, sick. Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Great.
'cause-
Okay, so yeah, wrapping that up. Done.
Yep, we did all that micromanaging last time.
Sick. Done. Fabulous. Never mind. Moving on.
All right.
Great. So yeah, so she heads out of the office and she does, if a job's coming up, have to make a quick purchase before she meets everybody. And I guess she needs to call her contact at the Tino's real quick. She's gonna pull out a burner phone.
Mm-hmm. You do also
And
know that Sam
call-
has ties to the Tinos too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I already know about this job.
Yep. Mostly
I would
because
assume
of him.
through my own You think it's through Sam?
Through Sam and some of your own contacts.
Okay, so who am I calling?
Either one. Whichever one you think is going to respond. I don't have a token for a contact.
Yeah, no, we don't have anybody established for this. I was gonna introduce a new person.
Okay. What do you...
If I'm starting, working for the Tinos, I thought that I'd start working with the Tinos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so what is this contact's name?
Jack Spacer. I don't know. I could do this. I could do whatever you want. What do you want?
You can
Random
random roll it, or you can be jet and do
I got
a
a
reference.
I got a randomizer.
All right.
Ramiro, that's pretty good. Fabiola for now. Ramiro Rosa, that's one. We can do better than that. Let's click some stuff in here.
Okay.
How about Sebastian Eugenio?
Sebastian Eugenio.
That's a fucking name.
How would one spell Eugenio?
Eugenio.
Eugenio. Okay. That is your contact with the Valentinos. Okay. Sebastian's kind of the guy who knows guys. He's kind of the guy you call when you need something. So maybe he's in a similar position to you in that he sets people up, he gets them good deals, he gets them jobs. Very similar to a fixer. Maybe not to the same degree as an edge runner would be, but to kind of keeps you out of the bureaucracy of the Tinos, and if you're working with him, then he sets you up with what you need. So, he's the one who has giving you the details of this seems relatively simple gig. You know, keeping an eye out for those who would be otherwise doing illicit, deals or stealing things or what have you. You know, he doesn't really go into detail as to what it is the Tinos will be doing exactly. But he's definitely going to let you know that if you are looking to take him up on the job, that all you need to do with you and your crew is show up at the, he'll give you the across street, and you wait there, you keep an eye out, you let them know if somebody's coming, and then when they give you the word, you're free to leave.
Yeah, so I was gonna say she rings up, Seb, get out. What's up?
Yes, okay. So, and he gives you the details of the job. What do you think?
Yeah, we're happy to do it. Sounds like you could have had anybody do this. But we'll look for something more juicy in the future.
Look, I don't know your crew, so I'm kind of using this as an interview stage.
You got it, Seb.
Fantastico. See you soon.
She hangs up.
And he clicks the phone off too. All right.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna pick seemingly neutral location nearby. Where is this at?
This is kind of gonna be in kind of a remote area of the Haywood district.
Okay.
It's a cross street that's going to be in front of a sort of a gated warehouse.
Okay. So I'm gonna send everybody a message that says meet at Slideye's. We'll carpool from there.
Okay. And Sebastian would have also let you know that the total take for this job would be €2,000.
Oh, sick.
Simple work.
That's awesome.
A little bit of cash for everybody.
And I can fucking muscle him for 20%.
All right. So, the four of you are going to meet up before this little gig. Is that the plan?
Yeah. Yeah, where do I buy my poison?
Typically black market of some kind.
Really? I can't just get like a vial of poison somewhere like on the street. That's not just handy. I can't just get mouth poison at the drugstore.
It's about as handy as narcotics.
Okay, I call my drug dealer.
Okay. High or low about whether they have it?
High.
Okay, so let's roll a D10. Nope, they're sadly not in possession of the poisons you're looking for.
Fine.
Not today, at least.
Moving on. I take public transit to Slideye's.
Okay. Slideye, there is a third knock at your door this week.
I end up opening the door. Well, heard
Hey,
I
sweet
just
cheeks.
pop in. Can I get you a glass of
Oh.
water?
God, I never drink the stuff.
Don't mind the discount ferret running around.
What's a ferret?
Annoying.
Right on.
So, what brings you to my little chunk of Night City?
Work tonight. We got a block corner to hold down.
Block
Just like
corner.
regular gangbangers, yeah.
What, go into their turf, slice them up, get them out of Dodge, or is this us protecting somebody else's turf?
Seems like yeah, just playing lookout. Yeah, we're gonna stand around, make sure nobody shows up, and alert the Tinos if they do. We shouldn't
Alright.
have to get involved, and the pay is pretty good for just standing around.
Okay. So what do you really think?
Probably gonna go tits up.
Come heavy?
Come heavy. Don't come at all.
It's Jig Jig Street. The chances of that happening is non-existent.
Yeah, I mean, who would want to rip off the Tinos?
Well, you took the jobs, and you said it was for standing around, so...
Yeah, you never know what's gonna happen though. It's hard to negotiate in the field, but I'll do my best.
So, what do you need? What makes you want to end up coming all the way down here? Tell me that.
Oh, we're gonna meet here, and then ride out there together.
I'm so glad that my place is now being used as the meeting location. Makes sense. Okay.
You don't want to meet at mine, do you?
What? Afraid I'm going to steal Sam on you?
I'm just afraid you were gonna steal Jessica.
Wow.
That cute little eye candy wandering around my apartment. I can't afford to lose her. She's the only morale I got.
Wow.
At this point,
That-
Requiem probably walks out of the bathroom. Did somebody call for
Oh,
eye
shit.
candy?
You guys fucking?
I'm gonna look at Slideye. Are we?
Slideye, are you blushing?
Currently wondering if I should have enough time to hide both the bodies.
Tough, but doable.
But I need the fucking money.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Can't pass
Alright.
up good eddies. But damn if the thought doesn't cross your mind.
What's up, kid?
Yeah, you hear the details on the job?
That we're protection or something.
Yeah, something like that. Only we're not shaking anybody down. We're just gonna stand around, I guess.
Right. Yeah. That's not so suspicious at all.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Okay. I'm glad I put on my body armor.
Me too really fills you out.
And it was just going to strike a pose. I know. It makes me look bigger and stronger.
Uh,
All right, Peacock.
And what are those new
Ah.
lines?
no, Trix, have you been here the whole time?
No, if anybody hadn't noticed, like, since he's in a short sleeve shirt right now, he does have new arms.
Oh shit. She comes over and like feels up on your new arms.
Oh, I just got these.
Nice. What's the model?
I'll list off the specs.
Sick.
Uh,
Must have set you back a pretty Eddie.
yeah, I wish I could have afforded the more integrated line that are a little more stealth, but those are so much more expensive, but it's the best I can do.
Mm-hmm. Well, you want a little intimidation factor, you know?
Yeah,
More fun
that could
way.
be helpful. But then again, I'm not supposed to be the scary one of the group. And he's just going to smile and look at Slideye.
This teddy bear, as if.
You have never seen nothing more terrifying than a mama bear. So, what else do we need to do to prepare, ladies?
What do y'all want to
She
do
looks
to
to
prepare?
Trix.
Well, I've already got my stuff on me, so
I'm ready to roll whenever you are.
How heavy do you want me to come tonight?
Heavy as you get.
Because, like, and he'll point over in the corner and you'll see a giant riot shield. Like, do you want me to bring
word.
that?
I mean, that does seem like a lot to carry, but yeah, I mean, you're the driver, so it is kind of your choice. That's going to be a lot to do at one time. I feel
I
like.
suppose I can put it in the trunk. I don't need to bring it with me.
Yeah, maybe just keep it in the trunk.
All right. So you
Requiem will.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. Go ahead.
No, go. You were
No, I
going
was
to
about
go
to
ahead.
say, Requiem is going to go ahead and take the sling of his shotgun and put it around his shoulders and put his jacket on over top of it. And just look around and say, well, ladies, your ride awaits. And
Woo!
Sorry, Coffee.
No, you're fine. Y'all are the characters. I'm just the storyteller.
Woo! Lou woos and runs out the door.
I just don't like talking over people.
Woo.
Nope. Y'all are the important ones, not me. So, with that being said, all of you collect into the vehicle and start heading back towards the Haywood district, where the cross street that Lou has given y'all as the point the place to kind of stand around and wait. Kind of a slightly rainy evening. It's a little wet outside. Kind of chilly. It's mid-50s in this spring night. Sun's only just gone down, so it's still fairly early in the evening. But the rain on Night City can get a little slick. So the streets start reflecting all of the lights of everything, giving a little bit of a tough time to drive, but drivers are on these streets, as busy as they are going slowly. You maybe pass a little bit of time in the vehicle listening to the radio, but you ultimately make it to the spot where you're meant to wait. And when you all kind of get out of the vehicle and start kind of getting out of the drizzle a bit, you get a message, Lou, from your contact Sebastian, letting you know that he sees you and that he'll let you know when you're free to leave. You estimate probably a couple of hours at the very least. So, during that time, not a whole lot goes on. You maybe hear some gunshots behind you. You maybe hear a couple of things going off as that goes on. Is there anything that you all wish to do as a part of that? Are you going to go investigate? Are you just going to stand here and wait? Do as you're told. What do you wish to do?
Requiem.
Oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
no. I was going to say, unless ordered otherwise, Requiem's told to hold this spot down.
And passers-by seem to pay you no mind. You maybe, watch out for specific things, other gangers, people who might, get in the way, corpos, kind of keep your eyes out for a little bit of everything. Nothing of particular interest seems to want to enter into the place where you are guarding. You maybe get some strange looks for standing out in the rain. But that's about it. Aside from a couple more gunshots that happen a couple hours later. Anyone want to make me an awareness check of some kind, like a perception?
Yeah, I'll
Sure.
gladly end doing that. And I
Okay.
You fucking know
believe,
it.
correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry, my PDF isn't open, but I believe I can actually use my special or my solo ability for these kind of checks.
Yes, you have a solo ability called Combat Awareness, which, if you have some of your points put into, I believe it's threat detection, you get a bonus.
Okay. Then I will end up using that bonus, which I believe is a +4 at this point.
Is it? So you're right. You have 4 points to spend, as far as,
Right.
and so your allocated points do have to be selected. So you can put points in threat detection or armor deflection.
Yeah, we'll be focusing entirely on threat detection right now.
Okay. So yeah.
Sorry, I'm still. This is the one part where I haven't committed to memory. I should, because I'm a solo, but I.
Oh, no, it's just like when you have to, you get 3 different things at your class thing that you have to put points in every time you level it up.
Yep, you get 1 point for every rank in your in solo that you have, which can go for threat detection. It's for every 1 point you spend in it, you get a +1 to perception checks. So if you're putting all 4
Okay,
points
I
into
thought.
it,
Yeah, that was the intent. Is I want to put all my points or all I can do to boost threat detection.
yep. And since
At this
there's no
point, which is a
combat going
4.
on, you could have done this before the job.
That sounds fantastic. Well, it takes me a turn to change it, right?
A
Or it
turn,
takes an action
otherwise,
to
yeah.
change.
An action to change it. Otherwise, if you are in a combat situation, but if it's prior to combat, you could have done so beforehand.
Oh, he actually gets to change what the points go into?
Yep.
Yeah. So when combat begins or before initiative is rolled, anytime outside of combat or in combat, as with an action, a solo may divide the total number of points they have in their combat awareness amongst the following abilities.
Yep.
The solo chooses not to put their points; the previous ones persist.
Yep.
So
Oh, that's
at this
awesome.
point, threat detection. You can enhance your awareness. Each point adds +1 to any perception check. In this case, it's going to be +4.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't. That's cool. I thought it would have to be static like everything else I read. That's
Nope.
actually kind of awesome. You get to shift your focus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Depending on the situation, a solo is meant to be precise for the job that they're taking. Requiem, that is a crit fail on 11, but a crit fail and because you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
But Slideye, you got a total of 19 with your +4 to threat detection. And then Trix got 18, Loup got 15, and you got 11, so yeah. Okay, so Slideye, you watch people. In fact, you are kind of focusing on just watching people. Watching how they act. Maybe for your own curiosity. You know, trying to get back into the groove of what it means to be human in some ways. But primarily for detecting any threats that might be coming your way. Haywood is not exactly the most safe of neighborhoods. There's plenty of gangsters that roam the streets. Plenty of individuals who might mean you harm, whether they are ordinary people passing by who may not be aware that you are keeping an eye on them. Most people are like that, just going about their business. Others pass you by with very long looks. Very long looks that kind of get you concerned for a moment, but they pass on by, as well as do the cars that are around during this part of the night. No cars come, no cars go from the cross street that you are more or less guarding. Nothing goes into this gated place that you're guarding. None come out either, so far. You don't see anyone. In fact, all of you don't really see anyone who particularly stands out as any kind of threat in this moment. Or for several hours, even. Eventually, there is a car that starts to drive by. From inside this sort of gated warehouse garage thing, a rather nice car, kind of looks like an old classic, but it's tagged with the Valentino's signature emblem on it. a driver driving forward past you all. A passenger in the back seat, looks like a relatively old man, with another passenger sitting next to him. And they start to pass you by.
Do I see, for the driver specifically, any indication that they may be Valentino affiliate rather than just somebody who happened to boost a Valentino car?
Based on your 19 perception, you would see the sort of biker jacket on them. It looks like Valentino wear, but you can't see the emblem on the back because they're leaning up against the back of the seat. Theoretically.
It's about as clear as... And not our job to get involved in. We're supposed to keep everybody out, not in. But I keep an eye on it. What about the old man? How does he look?
Balding, kidney spots.
All right.
Does he look like somebody important?
Loup, make me a... Let's see. This is a knowledge check of the streets.
So say, is this streetwise?
Yeah. Yeah, let's make that a streetwise check. Ooh, that's a nice one.
Hachi-machi it is indeed.
Especially since this is kind of your turf in which you operate.
Mm-hmm.
That's Padre. A major fixer in this area.
I see.
Former Catholic turned gangster, maybe? Nobody really knows how he's affiliated with the Valentinos, per se. But he definitely has a very familial sort of bond with a lot of Haywood. A lot of the area seems to respect him. From what you know, anyway.
Can I try to shoot Slideye in front of him?
You want to shoot Slideye in front of him?
I'm kidding, of course. It's a joke about the last time we saw a well-respected fixer.
Yes, indeed. Because he did that in front
Wait,
of
that's a fixer. Let me draw my gun.
As far as the other passenger goes, though, you're not super familiar with them or the driver.
Can I pick up anything on the demeanor of the people in the back seat?
Human perception, Requiem.
As soon as I find it, I will roll it.
I believe it's under social.
There it is.
Yeah.
Nope. I ain't seeing shit.
Yep, that's a crit fail. I don't know. They look normal.
Old. They just look old. I'm just looking at the kidney spots and be like, I could really fix that with this augment, that augment.
Yeah, you're kind of getting lost in the pattern too.
Lost in the sauce.
And by the time you're remembering what it is that you were actually looking for, they've driven away. That's when, Lou, you get a text message stating you're free to leave. And 2,000 eddies hit your bank account. Remotely.
Oh, that's the dinner bell, kids.
Okay.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, let's go get out of the rain at least.
Yeah, because by now you are soaking wet.
All right, warm showers. Warm showers.
Lou sends 500 to everyone.
Alright. So you make your way back into the rest of the city to get out of the rain. There's, of course, nearby shops if you would like to stop by there to warm up a bit first, or you can go straight home if you like.
The Valentinos are known for going to the coyote, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that's common knowledge, just
Yep.
to be clear.
Coyote Coho. Yep.
Yeah, we've seen them there.
Which isn't too far away.
I think that would be a really good place to end up getting a drink then.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Lou says, yeah, can't hurt to get a little extra information.
Alright. You start going.
She's gonna slam a smash in the back of the car. She's got a pregame. Did I roll that?
You
happened?
stated the gear. You posted the
Oh,
gear
cool.
on what you were doing.
Neat. I didn't know I could do that.
Yep.
Nice. That's what that little button does.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was a button.
Yep.
Cool.
So if you want to end up showcasing, this is what I'm using, and so everybody can
I'm
read
gonna
it.
start doing that. I ain't copy that text for nothing.
Hey.
I hand typed all that shit.
Let's go. Alright.
Yeah.
How'd it taste like Mountain Dew?
Yeah, she got the yellow kind.
Alright. So y'all head to El Coyote Coho. You see that Pepe is here, manning the bar as per usual.
Yeah. He said, yeah.
I will go over and buy my first drink from Pepe. I'll sit at the bar. Wait for him to end up being not so busy.
He takes a moment, makes up your drink. Do you order anything special or just a beer?
Grabbing tequila,
Okay.
after all. Specialty of this particular neighborhood. They know their tequilas.
He gets out a glass, puts some ice in it, gives you something that you probably know to be a little bit mid when it comes to the quality, but over ice you can't really taste the bad quality of it.
Thanks, Pepe.
No problem, chica.
I'm working my mind on something. I'm a little confused. Hoping you can help clear it up, put my mind at ease.
I will do what I can.
Done a lot of different jobs. Not trying to make sure I'm on the right foot with a particular employer that you're very familiar with.
See?
Valentinos don't often end up asking for outsiders to keep an eye on things. Trying to work out the angle. Especially when jobs go smoothly, I get nervous.
You had a job go smoothly.
For once. Didn't need to re-bolt my ass back onto my tailpipe. Good start.
That's a good thing, then.
She raises her glass to good things. Takes a small sip of it.
He raises a glass of his own and kind of shoots it down.
But we were keeping an eye on some things, and nothing went down.
See? It's usually a good thing when things are smooth. As you can see, I have not had an issue with anyone getting rowdy in the bar tonight.
That's just it. Now, Coffee, I'm going to intuit something, and please, by all means, correct me if my intuition's off. But I'd like to intuit something here.
Okay.
Based off of everything that you've just described, because I think you just put the nail in the coffin. Valentino's not exactly a small organization.
No, not at all.
They have a lot of eyes and ears everywhere. But they brought in eyes from outside. More importantly, from what I can gather, a VIP was asked to be watched over. This is something any puta would be able to end up doing. Paid good money for it. Makes sense. Big wig needs a babysitter. That part makes sense. What doesn't make sense is if they're not looking after him and they're not here kicking up a fuss. She sips her drink. Where are the Valentinos right now?
That is a very good question. One I sadly will not have the answer to.
Something big's going on tonight.
Potentially.
Something worth chucking a lot of eddies at a bunch of nobodies to keep an eye on. A very important figure. And if we can help out further and solidify our little relationship, because in all honesty, Pepe, I love this bar. I love coming here. I'd like more excuses to come by.
Mama Wells does like to have a full bar most nights, so you would be welcome so long as you have the IDs. So, you want to know if something very big is going on.
Valentino's auntie at their watering hole, and they're not looking after their father. Means they're somewhere. And it's something important enough that you get a bunch of outsiders to look after the padre.
Ah, but were you alone? That is the clue. Indeed, a point that you may be missing. Were you alone in your job? Do you know?
Brought on a full crew.
A crew of 4.
4's a healthy number.
Jackie
Enough for wood.
Jackie could have done your job in his sleep.
No doubt. But then Mama Wells would end up throwing up a fuss because he's... Mama Wells, very protective of her baby boy.
Yes.
Everybody's in Haywood heard of Jackie. Hell, I'm not even from Haywood and I've heard of Jackie. Is it true that he's built like a refrigerator?
Yes. Bjergat and everything. But
Not alone.
like
Pepe?
you said, the dinos
Thank
are
you.
everywhere.
Hmm?
I try not to evolve myself too much into their goings on. As I serve them drinks, I overhear their conversations, but they don't get involved. It's better that way.
And I wouldn't ask you to. I'm just trying to figure things out.
The rumor mill.
Wouldn't be good at my job if I didn't follow things up.
Very keen.
God bless. She grabs another drink before getting back to her table.
Vaya con Dios.
Con Dios. She brings her drink and sits back at the table with the others.
All right.
Well, what'd you find out?
Thinking. Valentino's wanted us, but they wanted to watch us. Why? And what's going on? Padre moved out. Pepe is having a quiet night. So if the Valentinos aren't near their number one fixer and spiritual leader, and they're not at the local watering hole, and we apparently weren't alone, anybody else have particular questions suddenly running through their head?
Definitely.
I think it could have been we were the disposable front door stop, or they might be vetting us for something else. If something were to happen and we were in the front, they wouldn't have lost any of their members.
But it didn't happen.
In fact, it went almost too smoothly.
They could have been cleaning up something internal.
Trix.
Hmm?
Check the scream sheets. See if there's anything relevant that might be coming up. After all, if you're gonna hear anything, it's gonna be in good old-fashioned tabloid yellow journalism.
And she'll start checking the screen sheets.
What are you thinking, Lou? Outside of getting a nice chunk of Eddies for getting a little wet.
Sebastian called it audition. But it's hard to say. I can't help but feel like we are missing out on something really big. bar empty, like you say. Padre wheeling out of there. Shots over hours and hours. I mean, it sounded like an execution in there. Maybe
They've
I've
been
been watching
trimming the
too many
fat.
brain dances.
Mhm. Trimming the fat, huh?
Survival of the fittest.
Is this sounding the way that they typically operate? I don't know. Something feels a little off. But it's on us to do the follow-up. After all, they paid good eddies, and I very much doubt they just wanted to see if we'd sit in the rain.
Okay. Well, no information at the bar. What's the next stop? Did Trix find anything?
I was getting ready to ask that.
Yeah, so Trix. Something does catch your eye. An AV was attacked tonight. One owned by a little known, well, maybe not little known, but a lot of known, Next Tech Dynamics on the side of it. A fight broke out between some gangsters and the onboard security. Several injured. A small number dead.
Say which gang was doing the attacking?
Tiger Claws.
Well, looks like Next Tech got attacked by Tiger Claws, but that's just about it.
And that company has no ties with anybody I know, correct, Coffee?
Nope. Yes, it
It was
does.
Biotechnica.
It's a
that,
subsidiary of Biotechnica, of a certain executive that you know.
Oh.
His name does not appear anywhere on the article, though. Though it's breaking news and only just happened maybe an hour ago, and they're still developing the story.
Oh yeah, Next Tech.
Well, shit.
Trix is going to send a quick text to Requiem. You might want to check on your buddy.
Requiem will kind of sink back in his seat, get comfortable, and he'll do an internal call and call Taka.
Which your eyes do turn blue, letting them know that you are in a call.
Yeah.
Unless you plan on closing your eyes for that.
No.
Taka doesn't answer.
Taka's usually the driver, right?
From what y'all know. Yep.
Mostly reminding the audience.
What are you thinking?
What's going on over there?
Don't know yet. Someone's just not answering. It's not like them.
Well,
You're breaking my heart. I didn't know you had another girl.
Who says it's a girl?
Humor is a coping mechanism. Just like my therapist was talking about.
if the chaos is out in their way, they might just be trying to figure shit out before doing anything. I'm going to look up more information about the attack, see what all's coming in.
Okay. Sort of baseline information's hit the airwaves, and the online articles that you're finding. The scream sheets are kind of ablaze with it a little bit, as it's not every day that a pharmaceutical executive's AV gets attacked.
No, it's not.
But no indication that MaxTac was called, so maybe it was rather mundane. NCPD's all over the scene, though.
Maybe it's just Tiger Claws trying to grow a pair of balls.
Do you guys is this that Biotechnica exec that we looked into for whatever his fucking name is? Die Hard, right?
Dickhead.
Yeah. Do we need to go down there and check the scene out?
Good.
If you want more information, it's the surest way to get it, right?
Yeah, media's being slow about it. Or rather, they're being
Let's go.
tactful.
Come on, let's go down.
All right.
Go we shall.
Okay. What I think is a good place for us to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll find out what happened. So, be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everyone, to Night City Stargazers. Episode 16. After doing a relatively simple job for the Valentinos, and maybe suspecting something else might be going on behind the scenes of said job, they went looking into the news of the evening. On this particularly rainy night, it seems that an AV has gone under attack. An AV owned by the Corp Nextech Dynamics, which our good friend Requiem would know is the company by which his benefactor, Marcus Calhoun, is an executive of. And thus, with that particular company in the news, Requiem has instantly become a little wary. A little wary that he might have to check in on his benefactor. And so, with that, has suggested that they go and check out this said AV crash. So, Trix, you're keeping an eye on the news as it's progressing. Nothing new since the moment that you looked up the 60 looked up the story. Would you all decide that you want to leave the Coyote Coho and go investigate the scene yourselves? The scene you come upon is a downed AV. Looks crashed, looks ruined, looks as if it's maybe not going to be salvageable, at least not for anything more than salvage parts. But crime scene hasn't exactly been cleaned up yet either, as you see the holographic police tape surrounding the area, NCPD officers all abuzz about this place. Kind of takes up the whole entirety of the street, kind of blocked off in every direction. A crowd has started to gather at the police tape line, and police officers are keeping the pedestrians at bay, trying not to let any media too close. But occasionally, we all know that eventually someone figures out exactly the scoop. And, well, ultimately will scream that all over the news as themselves. Get their name on the big screen at N54. You stand at the very back of one of said crowds that are pressing themselves almost like an invisible wall against the holographic police tape. Officers have their weapons drawn to make sure that anyone who does cross the line meets with a gun to the forehead. In the distance, you see other officers are investigating the scene themselves. Bodies of various individuals are strewn across the street. Some recognizably are Tiger Claws, others recognizably Corpo Solos. So what do you do?
I don't see Taka or his father, or what about their main bodyguard?
You see an ambulance, but it's not a trauma ambulance. And with him being an executive that high in the ranks, he's definitely got trauma coverage. At least most would assume.
Do I recognize any of the med techs that are there?
Do you know other med techs?
There is a I do have another contact that is a med tech.
A contact or a friend?
It was someone that I built into my backstory. One of the people that brings me like people and parts.
Okay. That particular person wouldn't be on this scene as of right now.
Okay.
That person waits until cleanup time. But cleanup hasn't even started yet.
Are there any cops along the police state?
Oh yeah, plenty.
I want to just walk up. So what happened?
Stay back.
I didn't come any closer. I just said what's happening.
It's none of your concern. Go about your business.
Come on, do I look like media?
Yes.
You haven't seen very much media then, have you?
For all I know, you could have a brain dance recorder chipped into your head, so get out of here.
Lou squeezes in behind him. Sorry, we're friends of the family. Calhoun, right?
This is an ongoing investigation. Please clear the area.
Look, we understand. We just want to know if he's okay.
It's an ongoing investigation. Please vacate the area.
Could you try to bribe him?
Yeah, I think there's a specific skill that you have for that, isn't there?
Called bribery.
Yes, indeed. Ooh, not with a crit fail, though.
Oh no! I got one of the good ones, Johnny.
I'll give you $1 if you tell us everything you know.
Hardly.
Get out of here, kid.
There's a reason we don't like cops. Is the ambulance close to one of the edges?
It's kind of in the center of the area.
Okay, so I can't get to there.
Is there any place along the tape that the cops aren't really at for the most part? Like they're kind of thinned out?
Sounds to me like you want to make a stealth check.
I do.
There is a section that's a little thinner as far as pedestrians and the police presence. It's quite a ways from where you are, but it's kind of like on the other side of the scene.
Trix is gonna make her way around to that area.
Okay. You're fairly certain that you're not spotted. Kind of meandering, moseying, not really drawing attention to yourself. Taking your sweet time.
I'm gonna try and see if she can get a better look at everything going on, especially since it's at a new angle.
Okay. New angle has you on being able to see the side of the ambulance now. It is one of the typical sort of nondescript meat wagons, as they're typically called. Goes to one of the general hospitals, not one of the trauma team hospitals in the area. Usually very slow to respond to anyone who might be in critical danger who doesn't have trauma coverage. Usually arrives after trauma has already been and picked the scene clean.
And do we know if trauma's come in yet? Or
You don't see anyone. You don't see any trauma members, and you also don't see anyone who might be covered by trauma.
Going on from the news stories I've been keeping an eye on, have they been here at all? Would be a better question.
From what you can tell, the story is still kind of too new for anyone to be able to confirm that or not.
Okay.
Though, if you want to try and detect traces of that, let's see if there's a sort of roll that you could do to maybe detect something of that sort. Because in D&D, I would select something like survival or...
Yeah.
Actually, tracking. Tracking would work.
Tracking. Alright.
Awareness.
Yep, it's in the awareness
you.
tab, yeah.
I'll pour my 3 luck into those 2.
Okay. So it turns to 14. The rain kind of obscures things. That much is making it very hard to do. The AV has clearly had the exterior doors removed. Whether that was the attackers or whether that was someone, from trauma responding. That much isn't clear. But the doors had definitely been removed. Looking inside, even though it's kind of scorched and burnt out, you do see that there's evidence that that someone may have been residing in, well, not residing, but had been occupying the AV as it was crashing. Because you do see, like, bits of just stuff peering into that door that are scorched on the inside. So a fire broke out in the AV. You don't see the driver. You don't see any familiar faces amongst the dead.
Okay.
You do see a couple of scorch marks where another AV may have parked briefly. But those scorch marks are resisting the rain. As AV scorch marks tend to do.
Okay. Suppose the next move would be to try to listen in as well as I can. Preferably without being spotted with me trying to get closer, but...
Okay. So you're attempting to listen in on the on the conversations going around about with the police officers?
Yep.
Do you have augmented hearing?
No, I do not.
Okay. So it's just going to be standard hearing. The only difference is that with the rain going on, the difficulty is increased.
Yep, it's going to be up there. So that would be what, a perception?
Yeah.
Or
go ahead and make me a perception roll.
Normal perception or human perception?
Normal. Do a human perception. Actually, I'll color it the whichever way you prefer, depending on which one you roll.
I think I'll go normal because it's higher.
Okay. So just listening for exact words. Okay. 17. So... texts from the ambulance have started to clear away some of the bodies. They're kind of talking amongst themselves. That's really the thing that's closest to you at the moment, aside from maybe the occasional officer. The thing you pick up on, though, is that these ambulance technicians don't really seem all that, like, in a hurry, because they're just wheeling away the bodies of those that are dead. Kind of questioning amongst themselves, like, who would attack Next Tech. Well, it's clear that Tiger Claws had something to do with it. One of them kind of spits and is like, well, fucking Tiger Claws. They start creating some kind of conjecture about the whole scene, about this having been, some kind of, like, espionage sort of hit by corpos going to war with one another, blah, blah, blah. It's definitely a lot of, well, I heard the Tiger Claws are in bed with Arasaka. Well, what the fuck do they have to do with Biotechnica? What are, just the usual rumors that go on.
And they haven't been here long, have they? The paramedics.
No, they've been here maybe 10 minutes trying to get, like, just kind of, going through a little bit of bureaucratic red tape to get rid of the bodies of the corpos.
Yeah. And all this she's sending out as a text to both Requiem and Loup.
Okay.
Oh, the group chat, I should say.
Okay.
So there's no one in the ambulance from where she's sitting.
Aside from dead bodies and paramedics.
Yeah, okay. So wherever Calhoun and Taka are, they're not here.
They're not there. No.
That's obvious.
Yeah.
And there's also evidence that a second airplane, I don't know what they're called.
AV,
I forgot.
Yeah, like a floating vehicle.
Yeah, AV. Yeah, of course. Was here and did leave. So.
Yep.
Yeah. But there's Tiger Claws nearby.
There's dead Tiger Claws nearby. As far as
okay. I thought you said there were some. I thought you said that there were some living nearby.
Any gangsters that may have been in the area that are alive vacated the area quickly.
I thought that you said that there were like some corpo solos, but I guess those were dead.
Yeah, those are the dead ones.
Dead.
Yeah, those are the ones that are dead. And there's probably half a dozen of each that the ambulance picks up and takes away.
Mm. I turned to whatever your fucking name is. Requiem. I turned to Requiem.
I turned to whoever the fuck you are.
So listen, you tall guy, whatever your fucking name is, whatever his name is, what does he do you? No, I go, so are you gonna let me in on this, or are you gonna keep shutting me out? What is this guy to you?
He's an associate.
So that guy that you knew, who was a guy that you knew, was just him.
And Requiem's just kind of staring off at everything. He's not really just going to answer. He's going to let that hang there for a second.
All right. Look, you had your reasons for keeping it a secret. But it doesn't look like they're packing that body up for any reason. So you shouldn't have to worry about your payday or whatever it is you get out of it.
While I'm standing there, I'm just going to try calling Taka again.
No answer.
I want to try calling his father.
No answer.
They got to lock down communications tighter than a drum. Someone just made an attempt on him. They're not taking calls. They'll take it personal. And she pats your arm gently.
Question is, what do we do now?
We rest in the glory of another payday, I guess. Is there something else you think we should do here?
Not without more information.
I send a message to Trix. You should get out of there before you get spotted.
She's gonna send a message back saying, I'm not crossing the line yet. But she'll make her way back around to the group.
Okay. Make another stealth check.
As soon as Roll20 responds.
Mm.
There it goes.
Any day now, roll 20.
It's not wanting to come up for you.
No. It still says your old one is 17.
No, 17's the one that she just rolled.
17's the new one. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's perception
okay.
17, stealth 17.
Oh, well, I'm a dingus. Alright.
We love you because you're beautiful, Coffee.
You lie. You feel like you are in a good enough spot that you do not get spotted. And make your way back.
Would have crossed the line, but this being an attack on Corpo. Wasn't gonna risk it. They've got eyes damn near everywhere anyway.
NCPD
What part of the
officer.
town are we in?
Oh, kind of near city center. Near like the headquarters of the branch It's relatively small compared to the towers at City Center, but it's not terribly far away. So whoever this was in the Next Tech Dynamics AV wasn't far from home when they were attacked.
Do you think what I'm thinking? We go check out the Next Tech building.
And
Let's see if there's anything happening in that area.
I mean, if he's not answering calls, we can go knock on his door, right?
Possibly.
Let's just see what we can see.
It is also late in the evening, so the building itself might be closed to the public. That much you may or may not already know.
Okay.
Don't they have like residency in the same building though?
Sometimes, most of the time.
It was more of a... Let's make sure the building itself isn't being like somehow attacked as well, or maybe like on fire or something. That we can deal with maybe visiting at a different point.
Haven't seen it in the news yet, so that's a good thing, at least for now.
I mean, news is the future. What could be happening now could be leading up to it. I mean, this was the first attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
Die Hard doesn't seem like the guy who's... If he wants to do something, he's going to do it, right? You think he's just going to take a swing at him and, let it go?
Oh, I think we should do a drive-by to see, make sure the place is still standing. Then I want to get back to the clinic for a little bit. That's how people usually contact me, and when things are going wrong, that's usually where I can be found.
Fair enough. Alright, let's get going then.
So, on your way back to Requiem's clinic, you swing your way around to the Next Tech Dynamics tower. It's probably only about 25 stories tall. The exterior seems pristine. You see their logo emblazoned in neon lights with other advertisements kind of lining the walls right outside the windows. Holographic advertisements for this show and that drink and this food and every other thing that you could possibly think of lining the streets as well. Nothing seems to be amiss, at least not from the exterior. No fires. No police. You maybe see an elevated number of security guards compared to normal. But maybe they're taking the security of their employees a little more seriously as of right now.
There a back door in the building?
There's a door on all sides.
All of them guarded?
All of them guarded.
Okay. Seen what I
Hey,
need to
Trix.
see.
See if there's anything in the local hospitals.
Alright, she'll see if... She'll look up to see if there's anything going on with local hospitals.
Now, are you jumping onto a network to find this out? Because scream sheets is one thing, but
Well, no, I was more getting her to see if she could call the local hospitals and look for him. Because I doubt I should do that while I'm driving.
I doubt they'd tell me anything.
Yeah, they probably wouldn't release that information. She'd have to
you'd have to hack,
go through back channels.
Yep.
Yeah, she'd have to hack.
potentially.
Have to hack.
Oh, we can do that back at the shop then.
What, you got a chair?
Not the kind that you want, but...
If it's not the kind that you want, Trix, then it's probably not going to have the back doors you want either.
It ain't gonna work.
But everything looks a little peaceful on the outside of the Next Tech building. Maybe a little elevated security, but that is about all that you see from the exterior. Before making your way through traffic to get back to Requiem's clinic.
Yeah.
Unless there's another
Let's give
stop
it a
along the
few
way.
hours. Nah. Let's give it a few hours. See what other news comes in. And then I'll start my digging.
I just hate waiting. I'm used to fixing things.
Well,
And Requiem will go in and make a pot of coffee and get everybody to get comfortable and wait to see if anybody shows up, they get contacted, or if he has any walk-ins.
and with it being kind of late in the evening, you kind of don't expect the walk-ins thing, as your shop is officially closed for the night. You wait. You watch the actual news feed on your television in the interim. The developing story is that there were a number of individuals who were taken by trauma and taken to safety. You get the full count of the number dead: 7 Next Tech employees and 6 Tiger Claws, known gangsters, all of which the news anchor seems a little too pleased to give the account of, as nobody likes gangsters in this city. The others that were injured, that were taken away to other hospitals, are also recovering. That this just seems to be, at least to the news anchors' sources, seems to just be gang violence. Gang violence on a corp. Still no word from your actual contacts, though, Requiem. And it's getting to about 2 in the morning here in Night City.
I don't think they're going to show up tonight, if they're able. Or get word.
Look, he came off as a smart man. I'm sure he's got things planned out to keep him and whomever else safe for a little bit.
Things would hurt if he was something to happen to him. I'm more worried about Taka. His old man's is a means to an end. But he's a good kid.
He's also relatively smart and not a slouch in any way himself.
No.
I'll keep an eye on things sporadically overnight. Let you know if anything pops up.
Yeah.
But I don't
His
fancy
dad definitely.
sleepover.
As much fun as I'd usually poke at making a sleepover, I don't think I can joke right now. Although next time we have one, you get to do my nails.
I'm pretty sure that's Lou's kind of thing, not mine.
I'm not picky. You'll see him, he's trying to force a smile.
I'm sure they're fine. Wreck.
Let me go and drop you all off at home.
You stay here. I can take public transit home. You get some rest.
Oh, I still have to
Those
go
guys are
to...
biting anyway.
Yeah. Are you sure?
Don't sweat it. I'm a big girl.
Just send a message to make sure you got home safe. And he'll look over at Slideye and is like, well, beautiful, you ready to go home?
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'll let you know in the morning.
Cool. Lets us end up knowing what's going to end up happening next. Still. Got paid, walked away from a gig, so it's not all bad.
No. No. Aside from this development, it was a good night.
So sweet.
And Requiem will drive Slideye back to the place, and
Okay. And Trix, you're on your bike?
Yep.
And don't you live in Haywood too?
She does?
I mean, Lou, you could always hop a ride with Trix. She's got her bike.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, would have offered.
All right.
She sits backwards as usual.
A very dangerous position on a bicycle or a motorcycle, but there you have it. Lou and Trix head back to Haywood for their home, while Slideye and Requiem head back to Jig Street for their little apartment.
I'm gonna want to talk to Sam when I get back too.
Okay. Sounds like a good ending thought. What about Slideye and Requiem? Any final thoughts?
1 second, I accidentally punched my desk.
Oh, brother.
I went to try to catch something that I dropped. That hurt. Oh,
Ouchie.
sorry. No, Requiem would just get into like a pair of like sweatpants or something and kind of probably make sure that Dream has enough food and water and play with him for a little bit
Mm-hmm.
before going and crawling into bed.
Okay.
Unless Slideye wanted to talk.
Slideye's got nothing.
All right.
You ended up saying you wanted to talk. You would let her know in the morning. She's keeping you to that word.
Yeah.
So she'll be mostly at that point trying to making sure that she's keeping her mods corrected, adjusted properly, and making sure she's topped up with proper injections at this point.
Which you can take care of for sure.
The good thing about having a Ripper Doc on hand is if you need anything, I'm right here.
It's always nice to know a good Ripper. But let's check in with Lou and Sam for a moment. He's at home. Looks like he's tinkering with something. Who knows what. He's been tinkering at a lot of things recently. But kind of one of his own personal
anything new?
projects. A
Yeah,
personal
anything
project,
interesting?
but it's...
Does he talk about these things?
He gets a little fixated. He'll talk about some things that are extremely technical when you do talk about it. And what it's supposed to be conceptually, maybe some kind of car mod.
Oh, okay. So no. Nothing I'm interested in at all. Okay,
Yeah.
great. I was like, can I roll about it? No, I don't want to.
Cars
Not
are not
wasting a
really
roll
up,
on this.
up Lou's alley.
Not yet. I mean, she was interested in cars when she had one.
Yeah, He's excited about like what he plans for it. He's excited about what it's potentially going to help him do, that he might be able to make more and be able to sell them to nomads. All sorts of just yapping and yapping if you get him going.
Yeah, just yapping. Yeah, she says, well, that's great, Sam. Really, really happy for you, or sorry you have to do that, or whatever.
I know it's not your thing.
No, you're good. I just, I'm glad or whatever. But like, yeah, good for you. Man's got to have hobbies.
Yeah.
How's Jessica hanging in there?
She's good so far as I can tell. She's out for the night for work.
Yeah. I figured. Just want to touch base.
How are you?
Yeah, good. Did a little job for the Tinos tonight.
Oh, was it that one that I told you about the other day, like 3 weeks ago?
Yeah. It's a long time ahead for a job. A lot of lead time on that.
Well, there's always new jobs coming up. I mean, I don't know. Somebody always needs something, and if it's not solo work, it's, oh, I need a car. Oh, I need you to flip this car. Oh, I need you to mod this car. Oh, I need you. That's what they've come to me for, honestly.
Sure. Yeah.
But,
yeah, and for me it was Merc work, of course. But I'm curious if you'd heard anything else about what they were up to out on the town tonight.
Stuff going down tonight. Well,
I mean, you're in their shops. You gotta hear something.
Yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of things. A lot of, useless shit. Some people are just fucking stupid. Idiots. Don't know how to treat their cars. Anyway, they had me change the paint and, like, scrape some onboard data for the, for a vehicle a couple nights ago. It was a kind of a nice car, classic, but modern, like, as far as, like, all of the, security stuff and, chew mileage and stuff like that.
That's Padre's car.
What?
Yeah. Saw him in the back seat today.
Nuh-uh.
Leaving a warehouse.
Where?
I tell him the part of town I was in.
You mean, okay, so there's a garage there. I know that. There's some
You know what they use it for?
cars, typically, I guess. Storage. It's kind of a storage place, I guess. But there's
They store empty. They store empty ammunition rounds. There was a lot of gunfire that night.
Oh,
hours worth.
Okay. Oh, yeah, somebody got executed.
Yeah, a couple somebodies, I think.
Means
But
that hierarchy might be shifting.
you think?
Well, if they're offing people and if they're no slouch. Padre usually doesn't get involved in that shit, though. He usually just leaves that up to other people. Padre's a fixer. He's not a gang leader. Who was with him? Like, was he with anybody?
Hard to say. Nobody we knew. Valentino driving the car, maybe. Somebody else in the back seat. Couldn't identify him.
Okay.
I don't know what he was brought in for. He could have been brought in for anything. It's hard to say what.
Well, if I were you, I'd kind of stay out of Padre's business. I mean, I don't want to get in trouble for blabbing and, snitches and all that. I don't want you getting in trouble I don't know. Because Tinos can get pretty weird about their secrets.
Yeah, I'm sure they could. Well, I'm always concerned about what's going to happen to Haywood.
Yeah.
Whether that means a crackdown or what.
What, did the police get called?
No, it's just, Tinos do so much enforcing around here. If there's new hierarchy, they might be wanting to prove themselves.
Well,
start demanding more tributes.
Yeah, they're not going to promote anyone from outside the gang. They're going to promote people who've had long tenure, and those people are going to get, those old positions that are now empty. And then, some of the newbies maybe get a bit of a come up, but you know. I mean, not like I'm getting any kind of shit out of this. I'm just the car guy.
I mean, yeah, but you've been around for a while. They could offer you something.
I mean, they pay me well for each car.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's worse gangs to get involved with, I guess.
Yeah, I don't see you as much of a banger, Sam.
Well, okay. Maybe I'm not, like, I don't know, an enforcer of any kind, but could I really turn them down if they asked me to, you know, run with them?
No, you couldn't,
I mean,
unfortunately.
15, 16 is when they start really asking the kids to commit.
Yeah. Good point.
And I just turned 16.
Yeah, you're a valuable asset to them, so maybe they'd want to make it legit. Sucks.
I don't know. Could be homeless. That would suck. Anyway, yeah. So, you know, kind of keep that to yourself.
Yeah, Sam. I'll keep it to myself.
I'll see if I can find out who got offed. You know, news of somebody
Maybe
getting
find out
zeroed.
who's in their place now.
Yeah. I mean,
Probably
news of
more
somebody
important.
getting zeroed is gonna hit the gang, you know, pretty quick. As soon as they find out. And
Usually, you know, somebody gets taken out, there's a celebration for it, you know?
well,
A rap,
usually a
you
celebration of the
know?
guy who took his place.
Exactly. But nobody was at the Coyote Coho tonight.
That's weird.
Isn't that strange?
Maybe something else. I don't know. Maybe they were going hitting up some other place. The Coho isn't exactly the biggest place. I mean, if you're inviting the whole gang, I guess. I mean, there's plenty of
Where do
Tinos
they
who
go
live
if
in this
they're-
building anyway. They could go trash
Alright,
someplace
Sal.
like the Afterlife.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe I'll check by there tomorrow.
Or Riot. You know. It's two biggest clubs in the entire city.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What you thinking? You got thoughts up in that head of yours. I can see those T gears spinning. All the way from here.
She says, I think you need to be careful.
Always.
But thanks for your help.
And you need to be careful too. You know. Being a merc who's loosely associated with the Tinos. They could backstab you faster than they would me.
They'd have to go through Slideye first.
Jeez. She's kind of spooky.
That's what we like about her.
She's very pretty, though.
in a haunted, hang from the ceiling by her toes kind of way.
Like a bat? Like you see in the books?
Like a sexy little bat.
I guess the only thing she's missing is some goth getup. You know, skinny jeans and a tight leather corset.
Ugh, who wears skinny jeans anymore?
Pretty girls. Or booty shorts.
Got a one-track mind, Sam.
Look, when Jessica wears these things, I'm just saying. Go to bed. It's late. Get out of here.
All right, good night, Sam.
Night, Lou.
Don't stay up all night.
Oh, yeah, shit. I got an early morning. He starts putting away whatever it is he's working on and, you know, boxes it up along with his tools and goes to get changed into his nighttime clothes because he's been in his coveralls all day. But with that being said, I think that's also a good place for us to call the session for tonight. And we will come back with what may develop as what's going to go on with Next Tech Dynamics, the Valentinos, and other things that may be going on in Night City. Thank you all so much for watching. We had some new followers come into the stream today, so thank you all for doing that and watching us live. And we really appreciate our audience here on Twitch as you guys get to watch live while the rest of YouTube, which is out there, sees it a week later. So So I'm doing some improvements, and I wanted to get you guys to get more involved as the audience. So I do want y'all to make clips. I want y'all to make moments. I want y'all to join the Discord. I want y'all to chat about things in every way, so that we can get, you know, more engagement and stuff like that. Because I know that here with tabletop RPGs, I tend to be focused on my crew, where you know, other gamers would be interacting with chat more. So if you guys want to do that, or, you know, other ways, even just by chatting, you're perfectly fine to do that too. We just love to see you guys getting hyped about our shows here on this channel. But yeah, thanks to my players for being the best players that Cyberpunk has ever seen.
Coffee.
You know, I still think that we may or may not be the best Cyberpunk TTRPG on Twitch. So let's just do that.
We might be the only Cyberpunk TTRPG on Twitch.
Well, yeah.
No, not quite.
Well,
It's the best one I've ever watched.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
which, speaking of
We're not going
mods,
to talk about sample size.
Are we the gayest?
maybe.
Probably.
I mean,
If we go by poundage, maybe.
we have several 100 pounds of gay in this particular channel, yes. But yeah, thank you guys very much for playing. So let's talk about some improvement points. So we've already got the poll up for the audience's favorite. Even if you've just joined us, to just put in the poll for your favorite from tonight, because it's a night by night basis for each one. So so if you're new to the channel, or you're new to these characters, either one, let us know, because I want that stuff. But let's talk about the improvements that I get to determine, more or less, for my crew. So let me pull up the thingamajiggy for the improvement points. So, we usually give the group some points, and then there is the warrior, socializer, explorer, and role player prompts that are in the book for experience. So we determine by the cast who fulfilled each one of these roles, and then I determine how many points they were successfully able to do that. So as a group, how do you think you did on your missions today?
I stood real good.
We make good statues.
You did make good statues, but was there other missions or plots that you feel like you made some good progress on?
We have definitely uncovered some stuff that we need to look into.
Lots of that. Definitely did lots of that.
We also successfully followed your next tech plot hook this time because we ignored it the last session. So.
Oops.
Subtle storytelling at its finest.
It happens.
But yes.
That probably was my fault because
less...
I didn't know we gave the subsidiary a name yet, so I probably didn't pick up on it.
Yeah.
No, it was there, but it was just the way that we got the info.
Times. Yeah.
It was just this thing happened, and it was like, oh shit, that sucks. I hope he's okay. It wasn't presented like it was an emergent situation. You know what I mean? This time it was it happened an hour ago and it's still ongoing. It's like, oh shit, well, let's go down there.
Right. So yeah, I think the group worked together well, accomplishing most of the mission goals with everyone taking part in the adventure. So 30 points each.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy to hear that.
So who was our warrior? Used their skills often in the session tonight?
I think Slideye was the only one who actually used their powers today.
Well, as far as that particular one, yes, you used your combat skill, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in combat. Any skills that you
fair. Then I would probably give it to Trix. Trix trying to do the sneaky.
Good sneak, good library search.
Good sneak. Use skills often and effectively, often taking out important opponents or discovering more. And Lou, you got the audience favorite for tonight.
There you go, Loup.
Woo! So yeah, 10 points to...
Doing that work, girl.
No, the 20 points to, I believe it was Trix that y'all said to use skills.
Yep.
Our socializer from the game today.
Slideye.
Pepe.
With Pepe, with Trix, with Rek, with Lou.
Okay.
Everyone wanted a piece of Slideye today.
That ass.
That ass, though.
Let's be honest, that's why I didn't notice anything in the rain. I was staring at Slideye's ass the entire time.
Hey, look. Yep.
Slick with rain.
Look.
Uh-huh.
She's got that shiny scent skin.
Got an ass like pow.
Let's see. Yeah, so I think supportive actions were helpful in maintaining player and party unity and cohesion. Explorer. Who explored the most?
I think that goes to Trix as well. Exploring the crash site successfully with the stealth roll and the perception roll and the tracking roll, that whole stacked set of charges, seriously. Got us all that information.
I'd say
I'll
that's
take
a
it.
good. Any other contenders?
Not really. That sounds good to me.
Okay, then I'll say that she used exploration effectively to learn about the world or situation. So that's another 20 points.
Woohoo.
Our role player. Now, this could be the best scene or line or something appropriate to that from tonight's session as well.
Giving it to Rec.
Yeah, wreck.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm for it. I just want to know what for.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious too. Don't everybody explain at once.
Okay. So with Rec, there is a personal connection into the subplot we just ended up going with. Him trying to be adorable with his dream, which I'm still trying to visualize at this point. So I just keep
Sugar
calling
glider.
it the discount ferret.
No sugar glider. He's so cute.
Discount.
Just
I will post
imagine
this
a
picture.
chipmunk.
I know what
Just
a sugar
imagine a
glider is. I
chipmunk.
just forgot what it what
What animal it was.
Discount ferret.
Half a ferret.
That is way cuter than a ferret. Thank you very much.
I used to know somebody way back in elementary school who had a sugar glider, so
I definitely was going through shit and worried about shit and didn't know what to do.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think role played in character all of the time, often effectively, worth 20 points is a good solid number for that. And then, yeah, Lou, since you got the audience favorite today, that's 10 extra points. All right. Is anyone spending points?
I am spending 300 to bump up my rank.
Okay, to Netrunner 5.
I'm closing in on that.
Nice. Very nice, very nice. Well, pardon me, as I am getting sleepy. Let's conclude the session with a raid, and then we will be back next Wednesday, of course, provided that everyone would be here, obviously. That we'll be back next week with more of Night City Stargazers. We're also live on Saturdays with D&D, with Rebirth of D&D Tale, which CJ, MacabreDerek, and Ravenstar are all cast members in as well. So, yeah, thank you guys out in the audience so much for watching, both on YouTube and Twitch. Be sure to follow, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. If you want to support the channel, feel free, because you guys are the reason that we even put this on the air in the first place. So, if you want to support, thumbs up. And that's even just sharing on the various Discords that you might be a part of that I might not be. So yeah. With that being said, we have to get to bed. I have to get to bed. So I will say good night, everyone, and say good night, everybody else too.
Good night, everyone.
All right.
Night.
Take care.